Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's great to have you with us for this week's Explore Tulsa. Now, Stevie, did you and your wife have a big wedding?
Nope, we actually got married in a small hospital room at St. John's. That's where my wife's grandfather, a retired minister, was battling cancer, and we got him to perform his last wedding ceremony with a packed house of just about 20 people.
Well, that's more than you can fit in the smallest church in the world. The chapel in Oneida, New York, only holds the pastor, bride, and groom.
For me, I like something a little bigger, yet cozy with a history of romance.
Ooh, then you want the BMAR Chapel in Bixby.
At 16, a runaway kid, 10th grade, education, they're not going to let you be a pilot. But I ended up with that Jeep deal. They sent me to Alaska. They got me out of the U.S. real quick. And in Alaska in the 40s, everybody flew. There wasn't no cars. There wasn't no roads. There were cars and there were roads, but you had a car. You couldn't go nowhere. 20 miles was about the furthest a road ran in any direction. So everybody flew, and I learned to fly in Alaska. I bought an airplane, and then somebody offered me a profit. At that time, back in the 50s, 60s, airplanes were going up, just constantly. You didn't have to be smart. And I always thought that I bought this airplane, somebody offered me a profit, and I sold it. I always thought there should be a law. If somebody offers you more than you give for something, you got to sell it. So that's how I got into the aircraft business. We owned over 100 airplanes at a time. One time we owned over 200. Jim Inhofe and I made the largest purchase ever made in civilian aircraft, non-military, non-airline. We bought the Grumman factory out, and I had over 200 airplanes at one time when Jim and I did that. We've got to do a lot of things. We were the largest trucking service in Oklahoma back in the 50s, my wife and I, and then I became the largest aircraft dealer in the world, and for many years. Got to spend the night with John Wayne, had dinner with him, a few drinks, and I guess he liked it. And I got home, and I'd been home about 2 weeks, and a truck pulled up out front, and I said, I don't have anything coming. They said, well, we got something here for you from Orange County, California. And it was a big old box, and I thought, what in the world? And I got it, opened it up, and it was a chair, the note from him. He said the chair was used in the movie Chisholm. Well, we always did everything together. I opened a chain of tire stores when we were young, and she learned to change tires and balance wheels. I decided to become a cross-country trucker, go to California and back every week, and I bought a brand new truck, and then she got her commercial chauffeur license. She trucked with me, and then I went to aviation business, and she got her pilot's license. So we always did everything together. She was very, very special. My wife and I were taking a little drive about, and we were going up through Canada, and it was coming up on our 50th anniversary, and I kept thinking, what am I going to get her for her 50th anniversary? And we came through this little town up there, and it had a little chapel, and it was sitting there, and it looked like it wasn't being used, and I thought, that's what I'll do. I'll buy that little chapel and have it shipped back to Oklahoma for her anniversary present. Well, I found out who owned it, and they didn't want to sell it, but they weren't using it. It kind of made me angry. I went back out and measured it, and it was 15 foot 6 inches by 8 foot 9 inches, and that's the exact same measure. I came back home and I built one, and I built one 10 times prettier than it was. Her name is Betty Margaret, and her grandkids call her BMAR for Betty Margaret, BMAR, and I named it BMAR Chapel, and that pleased her. We have had services. We had this one lady from Oral Roberts used to have regular services in this, but it seats 14, well 12, and then 2 with up here. You can get 20 in it, but it's pretty crowded. I grew up at the golden age. Everything, you didn't have to be smart to make money. You buy a piece of land and keep it a year and sell it for double what you give. It's just that's the way things went. It's not going to be that way in the future. If you make any money, the government's probably going to take it in taxes, but I always thought I was the lucky. I'd like, Will Rogers' epitaph was, "I never met a man I didn't like." I want mine to be that I never met a man I would have traded places with. But if I could have a second epitaph, I'd like for it to be the luckiest man to ever live in Bixby, Oklahoma.